Well, hello everybody. We're going to continue with James. I'm sorry there's been a gap. I had some computer issues in the last week and I wasn't able to record anything. But we can continue now, and we're going to start where we left off, which was James chapter 1, verse 9. A quick recap. We know that James is the son of Mary and Joseph, and he is the brother of Jesus. We also know that this book was written approximately the year 45, which was 15 years after Jesus was crucified. So it's actually a very early book. And he's writing to the Jewish Christian community and the Jewish community. He wants to wake the Jewish community up to what is going on. He wants them to understand that they've got to love their brothers and sisters and not do what they're doing, which is basically starving them. So the first section, verses 9 to 11, are titled Poverty and Riches. And I'm reading from the NRSV. So if you've got a Bible, it doesn't matter if it's not the NRSV, but you can follow the what I'm reading through. So that's James chapter 1, verses 9 to 11. Let the believer who is lowly boast in being raised up, and the rich in being brought low, because the rich will disappear like a flower in the field. For the sun rises with its scorching heat and withers the field. Its flower falls, and its beauty perishes. It is the same way with the rich. In the midst of a busy life, they will wither away. So the first thing that strikes us as we read it is James isn't overly keen on the rich. I don't think when I read things like this, I then instantly feel guilty, because in the Western world we are incredibly rich compared to other parts of the world where people are literally destitute. Now James is writing to the Jewish Christian community, and they are destitute. So if you can think, the Jewish community then learned about Jesus. Jesus taught them he was the Messiah. And then the Jews split. So the Jews that believed that Jesus was the Messiah and is the Messiah and alive still, they became the Jewish Christians. But the rest of the Jewish community shunned them. Now, the Jewish community was a very close-knit group. And when they shunned the Jewish Christians, literally it split families in half. Suddenly, those Jewish Christians were destitute. They were no longer welcome in the synagogues. They were cut off from all monetary help. They were not able to buy food in the local markets. They were made unemployed. They were literally overnight destitute. So we have to remember why James appears to be being particularly harsh, and what's the lesson we can learn from that today. Because today we are rich, we have homes, we have food, particularly in the Western world, and there are people in this world struggling. So we have to, I don't think James is saying that it's bad to be comfortably well off, to be rich. It's not a bad thing. What is bad about it is if you look at your friends and neighbours down your nose, people that are less fortunate than yourselves, and think, oh, well, they deserve it, or, they should have tried harder. You cannot do that. It is not for us to judge. What you have to do is share your good fortune. For those people that are hungry, for those people that can't clothe their children at the moment, particularly now in the pandemic, what can we do to help? Because we are, in the majority, we are rich. So never look at people that are less fortunate than yourselves with anything other than love and the thought of helping. So hopefully that's given you something to think about. And the next chapter, or the next part of chapter 1, is titled Trial and Temptation. So prepare yourself for another battering, but I think these things are things to learn from. See you next time.